Have you ever noticed how a single thought can shift your entire day? One small idea, "I can handle this," can suddenly make you feel stronger, calmer, and more in control. And one negative thought, "What if I fail?" can drain your energy before you even begin. It's strange, isn't it? We often think our problems are external, but so many of our struggles actually begin in the mind. This is why understanding the psychology behind positive thinking isn't just motivating talk. It's a real measurable power that shapes how we feel, how we act, and ultimately, the results we create in our lives. Modern psychology says that your thoughts trigger your emotions, and your emotions influence your actions. So if your thoughts are constantly filled with doubt, fear, and worry, your actions will reflect hesitation and lack of confidence. But when your thoughts are anchored in strength, hope, and possibility, your body responds with energy, clarity, and determination. Think about it like this. The brain doesn't just observe your thoughts, it reacts to them. Every positive thought releases chemicals that calm your nervous system and sharpen your focus. Every negative thought releases chemicals that increase stress and reduce your problem-solving ability. So the way you think isn't just mental, it's biological. One of the most fascinating pieces of research is the placebo effect. Doctors have seen patients heal simply because they believed they were receiving real medicine. The body responded to belief, not the pill. This shows us that the mind has the power to trigger real physical changes. If belief can help the body heal illness, imagine what belief can do for your confidence, your goals, your habits, and your future. Positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means approaching them with the mindset that solutions exist, that challenges can be handled, and that you have the inner strength to face what's in front of you. A negative person sees a problem and freezes. A positive thinker sees the same problem and starts looking for possibilities. The situation is the same, only the mindset is different, and that difference changes everything. Your brain is constantly shaping itself through a process called neuroplasticity. This means your repeated thoughts become mental pathways. If you constantly think you're not good enough, your brain strengthens that pathway. But if you consistently tell yourself, "I am capable, I can learn, I can improve," your brain begins to build a new pattern. Over time, that pattern becomes your default mental state. Positive thinking isn't magic, it's training your brain to work for you instead of against you. But here's the catch. The brain responds more strongly to repeated thoughts than to occasional big moments. That's why one motivational video can make you feel powerful for an hour, but daily positive thinking can make you powerful for life. It's about consistency, not intensity. When you choose positive thoughts again and again, your mind becomes your greatest weapon, not your biggest obstacle. So the science is clear. Positive thinking influences your emotions, strengthens your body, improves your decisions, and rewires your brain. And once you understand this truth deeply, you begin to realize that the biggest transformation doesn't start outside, it starts inside. This is where your real power lies, and this is the foundation on which the rest of this script is built. If there is one force that quietly shapes our entire life, it is the power of belief. Long before any action is taken, before any plan is made, before any goal is achieved, belief is what sets everything into motion. When you believe something is possible, your mind opens, your confidence rises, and your energy shifts. But the moment you believe something is out of reach, your brain shuts down the pathways that would have helped you achieve it. That's why the power of faith and belief isn't just spiritual, it's psychological, emotional, and deeply practical. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because deep inside, they carry beliefs that limit them. I'm not good enough. What if I mess up? People like me don't succeed. These thoughts act like invisible chains. They don't just influence your mood, they influence the choices you make every day. A person who believes they can learn anything will take risks, explore opportunities, and push forward. Someone who believes they are destined to fail will avoid challenges and stay stuck. The difference isn't ability, it's belief. Belief also affects how we interpret reality. Two people can face the same situation. One sees a dead end, the other sees a lesson. One sees fear, the other sees potential. Your belief system acts like a lens, coloring how you view the world. And here's the remarkable part. Your brain tries to prove your beliefs correct. If you believe something good will happen, your brain starts noticing opportunities and solutions. If you believe things always go wrong, your brain focuses on problems and dangers. This is called the confirmation effect, and it shows how your beliefs shape your reality, not the other way around. Faith doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means trusting that you have the ability, strength, and inner resources to handle them. Many people think confidence comes after success, but the truth is, confidence is what creates success. You don't wait to feel ready. You start with belief. Before every major achievement in history, someone first believed it was possible, even when others didn't. Belief fuels action, and action builds results. The inner dialogue you carry, your quiet self-talk, is the real engine of belief. When you repeatedly tell yourself that you can learn, grow, and rise above difficulties, your subconscious mind begins to accept those ideas as truth. And once your subconscious accepts something, your behavior automatically aligns with it. You walk differently, speak differently, make decisions differently, and handle problems with a different level of calmness and courage. Belief also rewires your emotional responses. A fearful person reacts to challenges with anxiety. A person filled with faith responds with clarity and patience. This emotional shift can change the entire direction of your life. Instead of being controlled by fear, you begin to act from confidence. Instead of being trapped by doubt, you start moving with purpose. At its core, faith is not about blind hope. It is about strengthening your inner world so much that the outer world no longer shakes you easily. When you cultivate belief, belief in yourself, belief in your abilities, and belief in positive outcomes, you build a mindset that supports growth instead of blocking it. This inner conviction becomes the quiet power that shapes your decisions, actions, and future, step by step. Have you ever paid attention to the way you talk to yourself? Not the conversations you have with others, but the silent dialogue happening inside your own mind. That inner voice is more powerful than most people realize. It can either lift you up or break you down. It can make you brave or make you insecure. And the truth is, your self-talk becomes the script your life follows. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not capable, your actions will reflect that belief. But if your inner voice encourages you, supports you, and believes in you, your entire reality shifts. Negative self-talk is one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck. It often starts silently. I always mess up. Nothing ever works for me. I'm not as good as others. These thoughts seem harmless because they happen quietly, but they create invisible barriers that hold you back. Your mind begins to accept these statements as facts. Over time, they become self-fulfilling prophecies. You don't try new things because you're convinced you'll fail. You don't speak up because you think your voice doesn't matter. You don't take opportunities because you believe they're not meant for you. But here's the good news. The same way negative thoughts condition your mind, positive thoughts can recondition it. When you consciously replace I can't with I can learn, or I'm not good enough with I'm improving every day, your mind starts forming new patterns. These positive statements don't magically solve everything, but they create the mental environment where solutions become possible. They strengthen your emotional resilience and help you face challenges with a different level of confidence. Self-talk also deeply influences your subconscious mind. The subconscious doesn't argue, analyze, or question. It simply absorbs repeated messages. If you repeatedly feed it negativity, it accepts that as truth. But if you feed it belief, strength, and optimism, it begins to support you instead of sabotaging you. That's why athletes, leaders, and high achievers use affirmations and intentional self-talk. They understand that before the body takes action, the mind must agree. One of the most effective ways to shift your inner dialogue is awareness. Most people don't even realize how harshly they talk to themselves. But when you start noticing your thoughts, you gain control over them. You can pause and ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? That one moment of awareness can stop a cycle of negativity before it grows. Another powerful method is reframing. Instead of saying, I failed, You say, I learned something valuable. Instead of, this is impossible, you say, this is challenging, but I can find a way. Reframing is not lying to yourself. It's choosing a perspective that empowers action instead of killing it. And remember, the tone of your inner voice matters just as much as the words. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to someone you care about, with patience, understanding, and encouragement. When you begin supporting yourself internally, you remove one of the biggest obstacles to your growth, your own doubt. In the end, your self-talk is the foundation of your mindset. It shapes your confidence, influences your emotions, and guides your behavior. When your inner voice becomes positive, compassionate, and empowering, you don't just change your thoughts, you change your entire life from the inside out. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the life you want most. Not the life you think you can get, but the life you truly desire. Can you see it? The clearer that picture becomes, the more power it has. This is the essence of visualization, one of the most effective tools for shaping your mindset and turning your goals into reality. Many people underestimate it because it seems too simple, but visualization is not fantasy or daydreaming. It is a mental rehearsal that prepares your brain for success long before you take action in the real world. Your brain has an incredible ability. It responds to imagined experiences almost the same way it responds to real ones. When you visualize confidently speaking on a stage, succeeding in an exam, getting stronger, or achieving a dream, your brain activates the same neural pathways as if you were actually doing it. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and performers use this technique to strengthen their skills and confidence. They practice in their minds first, and by the time they take action, their brain already believes it's possible. Visualization brings clarity. One reason people feel lost or stuck is that they don't know exactly what they want. They have vague wishes but no clear mental image. When you visualize, you create a detailed picture of your goals, what they look like, how they feel, how your future self behaves. That clarity becomes a roadmap. Your mind starts noticing opportunities, people, and tools that align with your vision, because now it knows what to look for. Another powerful benefit of visualization is emotional alignment. Your emotions influence your actions more than logic ever will. When you imagine a positive future, you begin to feel the emotions connected to it: confidence, excitement, hope. These emotions motivate you to take real steps. Without emotional connection, goals feel like chores, but visualization turns them into something you're emotionally drawn to, making the journey easier and more enjoyable. Visualization also helps in stressful or difficult situations. If you mentally practice staying calm during a challenge, your brain becomes trained for it. You're less likely to panic because you've already rehearsed the ideal response. For example, if you visualize staying composed during a tough conversation or staying patient during a problem, your mind becomes familiar with that calmness. So when the real moment comes, you respond with greater control. One of the keys to effective visualization is detail. The more specific the image, the stronger the impact. Don't just imagine being successful. Imagine where you are standing, what you are wearing, how you speak, what your environment looks like, and how your body feels. Use all your senses: sight, sound, touch, even smell. This makes the vision feel real, and when something feels real, your brain starts acting as if it is. Consistency is another important factor. Visualizing once won't change much, but doing it daily creates a deep imprint on your subconscious mind. Just 5 minutes in the morning or before sleeping can make a huge difference. Think of it like mental training. The more you practice, the stronger your belief becomes, and the stronger your belief becomes, the more aligned your actions are. Visualization is not wishful thinking. It is preparation. It is mental programming. It is aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions toward your goals. When you visualize with clarity, detail, and emotion, you're not escaping reality. You're shaping it. You're training your mind to recognize possibilities, to expect positive outcomes, and to move confidently toward the life you want. And slowly, the picture in your mind begins to match the picture of your real life. Worry, stress, and fear are like invisible chains that hold so many people back. They creep into our minds quietly, often without us noticing, yet their impact can be enormous. They drain energy, cloud judgment, and make even small challenges seem overwhelming. But positive thinking offers a way to break free from these chains, not by ignoring problems, but by approaching them with a mindset that reduces fear, increases clarity, and builds resilience. The first step is understanding how worry works. Worry is essentially the mind rehearsing negative outcomes. It constantly asks, "What if this goes wrong?" Over time, this mental habit creates anxiety and a sense of helplessness. Fear grows because your mind starts to believe that these imagined dangers are real. And when fear dominates your thoughts, it sabotages your confidence, freezes your decisions, and amplifies stress. Positive thinking interrupts this cycle. Instead of allowing your mind to focus on what could go wrong, you consciously shift attention to solutions and possibilities. You start asking, "What can I do to improve this situation?" Or, "How can I grow from this challenge?" The shift may seem small, but it changes how your brain processes information. Suddenly, the mind moves from a state of panic to a state of problem-solving. Stress is still there, but you no longer feel trapped by it. One technique to manage fear and worry is reframing. For example, instead of thinking, "I might fail this project," reframe it as, "This is an opportunity to learn and grow." Reframing doesn't deny reality. It simply changes the meaning you attach to it. When you attach positive meaning, you reduce emotional suffering and increase mental clarity. Over time, this creates a resilient mindset that faces challenges rather than avoiding them. Another important tool is controlled focus. Often we worry because we scatter our attention on multiple potential problems. Positive thinking teaches you to create a tight bubble around your focus. Concentrate only on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. This doesn't mean ignoring risks. It means not giving energy to what you can't change. By channeling your attention deliberately, you reduce mental chaos and gain confidence in your actions. Breathing and mindful practices also complement positive thinking in stress management. Slow, intentional breathing reduces physiological stress, while positive mental affirmations stabilize the mind. Phrases like, "I am capable of handling this," or "I will find solutions," calm the nervous system and reinforce mental strength. Your brain begins to associate challenges with capability rather than fear. Positive thinking also encourages proactive preparation. Instead of fearing the unknown, you anticipate challenges and create plans. The act of preparation reduces uncertainty, and reduced uncertainty reduces worry. This creates a cycle. Preparation strengthens confidence, confidence reduces fear, and reduced fear improves decision-making. Finally, understanding that challenges are temporary is critical. Positive thinkers see difficulties as fleeting opportunities for growth rather than permanent obstacles. Each problem is reframed as a stepping stone, not a roadblock. By adopting this perspective, you train your mind to respond with calm and focus rather than panic and doubt. In essence, positive thinking doesn't eliminate fear or stress. It transforms your response. It equips your mind to act wisely, stay calm, and find solutions even in the face of adversity. By consistently applying these techniques, worry loses its grip, stress becomes manageable, and fear turns into a tool for growth. The more you practice, the more naturally your mind embraces calm, clarity, and constructive action. Have you ever noticed that the people who consistently succeed don't just work hard, they expect success? Expectation is a subtle, yet incredibly powerful force in shaping outcomes. Positive thinking teaches that what you anticipate mentally often becomes reality. When you cultivate the habit of expecting good things, your mind starts aligning your actions, decisions, and energy toward making those expectations come true. It's not wishful thinking. It's the practice of programming your brain to recognize opportunities and possibilities that support your goals. Expectation works because the brain is highly attuned to patterns. When you believe something positive will happen, your subconscious begins scanning your environment for evidence that supports that belief. You notice opportunities you might have ignored, take actions you might have delayed, and approach situations with confidence rather than hesitation. Conversely, expecting failure or misfortune sets the mind to notice problems, reinforce doubt, and create self-limiting behavior. Simply put, what you expect, you often unconsciously create. One of the most compelling examples comes from psychology's self-fulfilling prophecy. When a teacher expects a student to perform well, that student often exceeds their peers' expectations. When a manager expects failure, the team underperforms. This is not coincidence. It is a demonstration of how expectation, combined with belief and action, actively shapes outcomes. Positive thinking harnesses this same principle for personal growth and achievement. Expectation also fuels motivation. When you anticipate good results, your mind and body respond with energy, focus, and persistence. You are more likely to take risks, try new approaches, and persevere through challenges. Expectation creates momentum. A positive expectation acts like a compass, guiding your thoughts and actions toward opportunities rather than distractions. It turns obstacles into manageable steps instead of insurmountable roadblocks. Another critical element is emotional preparation. Expecting success not only prepares your actions, but also stabilizes your emotions. Fear, doubt, and hesitation diminish when your mind is focused on the positive outcome you anticipate. When you walk into a challenging situation with confidence and expectation, you influence your behavior and even how others respond to you. People naturally gravitate toward confidence and optimism, and your expectations subtly shape the environment around you. Reinforcing this habit requires conscious repetition. Each morning or before tackling a challenge, remind yourself of what you expect to achieve. Visualize it, feel it, and affirm it. Over time, this repeated practice programs your subconscious to operate from a place of possibility, not limitation. It strengthens your ability to notice and act upon opportunities that support your goals, and it reduces the tendency to get lost in fear or uncertainty. Expectation also teaches patience and persistence. Positive thinking does not guarantee instant results, but it guarantees a mindset that perseveres, adapts, and remains proactive. Each step forward, guided by expectation and belief, compounds over time. Even small positive expectations create ripple effects, building momentum toward larger achievements. Ultimately, expecting good things is more than optimism. It is a strategy. By consciously setting your mind to anticipate success, you train yourself to act, perceive, and respond in ways that make success increasingly likely. Positive thinking turns expectation into a powerful tool, aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions toward a future shaped by possibility, opportunity, and confidence. Confidence is often seen as a trait people are born with, but in reality it is a skill, a mental habit that can be developed, strengthened, and refined through positive thinking. True confidence doesn't come from external validation or luck. It grows from repeated positive thoughts, deliberate actions, and a belief in your own abilities. When your mindset is aligned with positivity, you begin to act with a sense of certainty, make decisions decisively, and approach challenges without hesitation. One of the first steps in building confidence is understanding its connection to self-perception. How you see yourself internally directly affects how you present yourself externally. Negative self-beliefs create hesitation, fear, and self-doubt, which others can sense, often influencing their reactions to you. On the other hand, a confident mindset, rooted in positive thinking, translates into body language, tone of voice, and decision-making that conveys competence and assurance. Confidence in this sense becomes both internal and visible, reinforcing itself through repeated experiences. Positive thinking strengthens confidence by gradually shifting your mental narrative. Every time you replace "I can't handle this" with "I can learn and improve," or "I am not ready" with "I am prepared to take the next step," you are training your subconscious to support your growth. Over time, these repeated affirmations change how you feel about yourself and how you approach challenges. Confidence is not instantaneous. It is the accumulation of small, consistent mental victories that reshape your self-image. Another critical aspect of building confidence is embracing action despite uncertainty. Many people wait to feel ready or capable before acting, But positive thinking teaches the opposite. Act first, and your belief in yourself will follow. By taking deliberate steps toward your goals, you create evidence of your capability. Each successful action, no matter how small, reinforces the belief that you are competent and able to handle future challenges. Handling setbacks is also a defining element of confidence. Positive thinking does not mean ignoring failure. It means reframing it. Every mistake becomes a lesson, every challenge an opportunity to grow. Instead of allowing setbacks to erode your self-assurance, you use them to reinforce your resilience. This approach creates unshakable confidence because it is rooted in experience, learning, and adaptability rather than temporary success. Confidence also affects your interactions and opportunities. People naturally respond to those who project positivity and self-assurance. Employers, colleagues, friends, and even strangers are drawn to individuals who believe in themselves. Positive thinking amplifies this effect by helping you maintain composure, communicate effectively, and make decisions from a place of calm and certainty. Finally, developing unshakable confidence requires consistency. It's about creating daily habits of positive reinforcement, visualization, and deliberate action. Over time, your mindset, emotions, and behavior align in a way that naturally supports growth and achievement. Positive thinking is the foundation, and confidence is the structure it builds, a structure strong enough to withstand doubt, criticism, and challenge. When confidence is nurtured through positive thinking, it becomes more than self-assurance, it becomes a way of life. You approach each day with courage, clarity, and determination. You take risks, embrace opportunities, and persist through challenges. Positive thinking doesn't just make you feel confident, it transforms the way you navigate the world, creating a life where your abilities are matched by your belief in them. Our mindset doesn't only shape our personal achievements, it also profoundly affects the way we connect with others. Positive thinking isn't just about feeling good, it's about creating better relationships, building trust, and influencing those around you in meaningful ways. People are naturally drawn to optimism, confidence, and warmth, which are all byproducts of a positive mindset. By cultivating positivity, you not only transform your own life, but also improve the quality of your interactions with everyone you meet. One of the most effective ways positive thinking strengthens relationships is through appreciation and genuine recognition. When you focus on the good qualities in others, express gratitude and acknowledge their efforts, you build stronger bonds. Positive thoughts about people naturally translate into positive words and actions. Even small gestures, like compliments, encouragement, or simply listening attentively, can create a ripple effect that strengthens trust and goodwill. People respond to positivity, and in turn, it creates a more harmonious environment. The way you communicate is also shaped by your mindset. Negative thinking often leads to criticism, sarcasm, or impatience, which can damage relationships over time. Conversely, positive thinking encourages constructive communication. When you approach conversations with optimism and empathy, you are more likely to resolve conflicts calmly, understand differing perspectives, and influence others without confrontation. Your positivity becomes a stabilizing force in challenging interactions. Emotional influence is another subtle yet powerful aspect. Your internal state affects how others feel around you. A calm, confident, and positive individual can inspire trust, cooperation, and motivation. On the other hand, constant worry, fear, or negativity can create tension, defensiveness, and distance. By maintaining a positive mindset, you unconsciously uplift the emotional climate of your relationships, making interactions smoother and more productive. Positive thinking also encourages patience and forgiveness. When you expect growth and improvement rather than perfection, you are less likely to hold grudges or react impulsively. This mindset fosters stronger, longer-lasting relationships because it emphasizes understanding over judgment. Conflicts are approached as opportunities to learn and strengthen connections rather than reasons to blame or withdraw. Another important factor is influence through example. People naturally mimic attitudes and behaviors. When you consistently exhibit positivity, resilience, and optimism, You inspire others to adopt similar traits. This doesn't just improve your relationships, it elevates the environment around you. Families, teams, and communities benefit from the positive energy you bring, creating a supportive network that encourages collective growth. Finally, positive thinking strengthens emotional intelligence. You become more aware of your own emotions and how they affect interactions, and more perceptive of the feelings of others. This awareness allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, fostering deeper understanding and trust. Relationships thrive when emotional intelligence guides actions and positivity enhances that intelligence. In essence, cultivating a positive mindset is not selfish, it's relational. It improves communication, builds trust, nurtures empathy, and creates a supportive environment. By consistently focusing on positivity, you strengthen the connections that matter most, influencing not only your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Through positive thinking, relationships become a source of growth, inspiration, and shared success. Positive thinking doesn't just improve your personal life, it can transform your work, career, and financial growth as well. The way you approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities in your professional life is largely influenced by your mindset. When you cultivate a positive outlook, you begin to see problems as opportunities, setbacks as lessons, and tasks as stepping stones toward greater success. This shift in perspective not only increases productivity, but also opens doors that a negative mindset might overlook. At work, positive thinking impacts decision-making. A person who approaches challenges with optimism evaluates options calmly, thinks creatively, and is more willing to take calculated risks. In contrast, someone dominated by fear and doubt often procrastinates, avoids responsibility, or makes decisions under pressure without clarity. By maintaining a positive mindset, you are better equipped to analyze situations objectively, anticipate challenges, and make choices that lead to sustainable success. Handling failure is another area where positivity makes a significant difference. Everyone encounters setbacks, but those who view failures as temporary and instructive learn faster and adapt more efficiently. Positive thinking allows you to extract lessons from mistakes instead of dwelling on them. Each setback becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block, and this resilience is a major differentiator in career and financial growth. People who can maintain optimism under pressure often emerge stronger and more prepared than their peers. Creativity and problem-solving are enhanced by a positive mindset. Optimistic thinking encourages exploration of alternative solutions and reduces the fear of trying new approaches. When you focus on possibilities rather than limitations, your brain naturally generates innovative ideas. This creative approach can lead to breakthroughs in projects, improved processes, and better strategies, all of which directly contribute to professional advancement and financial gain. Motivation and persistence are also fueled by positive thinking. When you expect success and visualize your goals, you are more likely to take consistent action. Small, repeated efforts compound over time, creating momentum in your career and financial journey. Positive thinking keeps you moving forward even when results are not immediate, preventing discouragement and burnout that can derail progress. Networking and collaboration benefit from a positive mindset as well. People are drawn to those who radiate confidence, optimism, and solution-oriented thinking. Positive energy attracts opportunities, partnerships, and mentorships, all of which are critical for career advancement. By maintaining a constructive and encouraging approach, you become someone others want to work with, support, and promote. Lastly, positive thinking helps in setting clear financial goals and sticking to them. Optimism fuels planning, persistence, and disciplined action. When challenges arise, a positive mindset enables problem-solving rather than panic, allowing you to adjust strategies and keep moving toward financial growth. The combination of expectation, resilience, and action creates a self-reinforcing cycle that continually propels success. In conclusion, the power of positive thinking in professional life goes beyond mere attitude. It shapes decisions, builds resilience, fosters creativity, strengthens networks, and drives consistent action. By aligning your mindset with positivity, you create conditions for meaningful progress in work, career, and financial pursuits, turning challenges into opportunities and dreams into tangible achievements. Developing a habit of positive thinking is not a one-time effort. It is a daily practice that requires attention, consistency, and intention. Just like physical exercise strengthens the body over time, daily mental exercises strengthen your mind, shaping your thoughts, emotions, and actions. These routines create a foundation that supports growth in every area of life, from relationships to career, from health to personal fulfillment. By cultivating daily habits, you ensure that positivity becomes a natural, automatic part of who you are. One of the most powerful daily practices is affirmations. Simple statements such as, "I am capable," "I attract opportunities," or "I grow stronger every day," might feel repetitive, but their impact on the subconscious mind is profound. When repeated consistently, affirmations gradually overwrite negative beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. Saying them aloud or silently with intention reinforces your sense of self-worth and confidence, setting a positive tone for your day. Gratitude is another cornerstone of a positive routine. Taking a few moments each day to reflect on what you are thankful for shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. It trains your brain to recognize the positives, even in small, often overlooked details. By consistently practicing gratitude, your mental lens adjusts to see opportunities and blessings rather than problems and limitations. This simple yet powerful habit fosters contentment, emotional stability, and resilience. Your environment also plays a critical role. Surround yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and challenge you positively. Engage with content, books, podcasts, or videos that encourage growth and constructive thinking. Minimize exposure to negativity, whether from toxic relationships, excessive social media, or pessimistic news. Positive thinking is contagious, and the energy you surround yourself with significantly influences your mindset. Visualization and reflection complement daily routines. Spend a few minutes each day imagining your goals as already achieved, feeling the emotions associated with success. Combine this with reflection on daily accomplishments, no matter how small, to reinforce progress. This cycle of envisioning and reflecting strengthens belief, motivation, and clarity, making your goals feel tangible and attainable. Consistency is the key. Positive thinking is not about occasional bursts of optimism. It is about creating an enduring mental framework that naturally guides your thoughts and behaviors. Morning routines, journaling, mindfulness exercises, or meditation can be tailored to your lifestyle, but the underlying principle is the same. Repetition builds patterns, and patterns shape outcomes. Over time, positivity becomes automatic, influencing how you react to challenges, seize opportunities, and navigate daily life. Eliminating negativity from your life is equally important. Identify habits, thoughts, or influences that undermine your mindset and consciously replace them with constructive alternatives. By actively choosing what you consume mentally and emotionally, you reinforce a mental environment that promotes growth, focus, and resilience. Ultimately, daily positive thinking practices are about creating a life that aligns with your aspirations. They condition your mind to notice opportunities, respond with clarity under pressure, and maintain resilience in the face of challenges. Each small daily action compounds, gradually transforming your internal world and, in turn, the external reality you experience. If you consistently apply these practices, positive thinking becomes more than a habit. It becomes a lifestyle. It empowers you to live with confidence, purpose, and clarity every day.
Thank you for watching.